Good evening. Good evening. Welcome into episode number 24 of the Clemson Junkies. Correction. I'm thinking about something else as I'm saying that, and I apologize. Into Tiger Talk with some Clemson gentlemen. All right, and since I said that, I'm going to go ahead and lead into what I was about to tell you before I ask you how you're doing, Jeff, so I can get this thing corrected up. All right, so since we started this, we've been having to go by our our friends over at Clemson Junkies. That's who we have actually used to do the podcast because we didn't have enough following on the Tiger Talk with Clemson gentlemen. You have to have like 100 followers slash friends, and as of last night, we actually gained enough on that following. So we are now streaming on not just our YouTube channel, not just through the Clemson Junkies, but also through our Facebook account, which is, of course, Tiger Talk with some Clemson gentlemen. So that's what I'm actually sitting here trying to figure out how I'm going to lead into this, and um, you see how it worked out. So, good evening, y'all. Welcome into our 24th episode of Tiger Talk with some Clemson gentlemen. You've got myself, Freddie, and Jeff there on the other end of the screen there. And Jeff, I'm gonna start out by asking you same thing we always do. How was your week, man?
Man, it was a good one. We dealt with a little bit of the flu last week. Still got a little bit of it running, but happy, healthy for the most part, and just enjoying some good Clemson athletics. I mean, it was uh, a busy weekend for first full weekend of February. So it's been something else, man.
Yeah, it has. I have been blessed that we have avoided the sickness to this point. I am thankful for that. Not bragging at all because Jeff, you've known me long enough to know that I seem to catch everything, and I think it has a lot to do with not just me being a type 1 diabetic, but also the fact that I work in a school system like you do, and
Oh yeah.
it makes a difference. So um, hey, I'm thankful that I've been blessed enough that we have not been taking. And on top of that, my wife also works at a daycare here in Tuberville and keeps our grandbabies, all week long. Also, so yeah, I'm thankful that we've been blessed enough not to get it yet. I'm trying to find some wood, because, but hey, it is
You're
what it
around children, they're walking incubators for germs. So I understand that.
it's weird. It's funny because during this cold weather and everything, even while we've been in school, you see kids out there running around with a t-shirt on, and some of them would wear shorts if they could. Okay,
Oh yeah.
on the playground, and I'm sitting there going, if I walked out there with just one jacket on right now, I would have the flu, everything. I mean, so it tells you how resilient kids really are. But all right, so you said it best. Enjoying some great Clemson athletics right now.
Yeah.
The sporting world at Clemson is just thriving,
Yeah.
if I can say so. Um, we've got the we are tied right now, if I'm understanding, with Duke for the longest road winning streak in a season. The current one is at what, 14
It's
games,
14 in a row. Now,
and
let me clarify. What I
uh,
saw yesterday, Freddie, is Duke has the top two. Well, we're tied with them for the second one.
that
They've
is
got
right. You're
this about 24 games, and
Yep.
then we're tied with another one of their teams with 14 in a row on the road.
That that is correct, and I'll add something else to that too. On that list, there's North Carolina,
Mm.
there's Duke with two of them,
Yep.
Virginia with one, which we just took over. That we were tied with them for the third longest, or the
Yep.
third, yeah, the third. All right, so we took over for them. All right, two of those teams, Virginia and Duke, won national championships with their
Yeah.
streaks. So hey, that's some hefty company to have right there. If
It certainly is, man.
especially in this conference, and it's good to see that the ACC as a whole seems to be back from. I mean, last year, it wasn't all that great basketball wise, and it's good to see them, being more competitive. I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So, um,
Well, that lends some credence to what our Tigers are doing. It's
yeah,
one thing when you got a 4 bid league like the ACC was last year, but you're looking at 8, 9, potentially 10 teams this year, and we're sitting at 10-1 in a league with minimum. I think most prognosticators say at least eight
yeah,
bids. So
yeah.
that's a testament to how good Brad Brownell's team has certainly played.
And I mean, look, you got a buddy of mine and I were talking earlier, and he and I are in agreement with this. This may be Brownell's best coaching job at Clemson yet.
Oh yeah.
Um, I mean, you lose everything you lost last year, and you set yourself up. And I'm talking early on. These guys are playing, and we've talked about it before. You and I've talked about it. I know that basketball's a little bit different than football, and baseball is too. But at the same time, you know, look, to get guys, what, 7, 8 guys, I guess you'd say, playing at a level that they're playing together after coming in at the first of the year, or first of last year. That's saying a lot. No matter how you put it or how you look at it. So
Freddie, I'd take it beyond 7 or 8. I mean, Brownell's rolling. He's rolling a 10-man rotation through. Dallas
you're right.
Thomas and the Thompson kid both got significant minutes yesterday, and I think on this road trip they have played. So, I mean, you're
Eh,
rolling 10 guys in there, and he's put them together quick, like in a hurry.
Well, I'm gonna throw something else out there. Everybody was looking for Dylan Hunter coming in and I'm gonna be honest with you. I could see Ace Buckner being the starter and Dylan coming off the bench at this
Yeah.
point. And when I say that, I'm not saying it's going to happen. What I'm saying is, if it was to happen, I don't think anybody, including Dylan Hunter, could argue it.
No,
Uh,
last 2 games especially,
yeah,
Buckner's been he's been solid, especially when Hunter got the 2 quick fouls yesterday.
that's right.
Buckner comes in and the guys on the broadcast, no drop off at all.
Mm-mm.
I mean, you look back last couple years, Chase Hunter goes out with 2 quick fouls. We're in trouble. We're
Oh
in
yeah,
big trouble
oh,
the last couple years.
that's
But with this
exactly right.
group, I mean,
Well, and
he came in and
I'll
was nails.
I'll tell you, year before last, it, when was it? No, was it last year? Last year that he headbutted the South Carolina player in Columbia. We end up losing in overtime. And I'm
Yeah.
gonna go ahead and tell you, if he does not get thrown out of the game, you will not convince me that we don't win that game in Columbia last year. There
Oh,
again,
easy. Yeah.
this year, you do that, and I'm gonna tell you, it seems like Brad Brownell is taking a page out of Dabo's book with next man up. You know, um,
Oh,
and you can
yeah.
do that when you're bringing in guys like he's bringing in right now. So,
Yeah.
um, I the big one's on the horizon, man. Tuesday night in Cameron. You know, um,
Kind of
this.
ironic, Freddie. We're going to Duke to move ahead of one of their streaks. The chance to hit number 15 at Duke.
And even more so, man, you beat I'm sure they'll still be number 4 when we play them. You beat the number 4 team in the country.
Yeah.
And not only do you beat the number 4 team in the country, you take over sole possession of first place in the ACC. Honestly, who had that on their bingo card this late in the season?
I I certainly didn't. No, I look back and I remember episode we did. What was it? The end of December 1st, January, one of the episodes, and I said, if we can go 3-1 in that first 4 with those 3 on the road and then SMU at home, Um, I mean, every time I've said that, we like I said, I think a week or so before, if we're able to split the California road trip, that's pretty good. Shoot, they just knocked two out.
And there again, only two teams have beaten the California teams
Yeah.
in California, or beaten both of the California teams in California, and that is Duke and us. So,
Yep.
um, everybody's so worried about the Duke and North Carolina series, and how is that going to match, or how's that matchup going to happen or work out? And I was going, hey, don't look now, but little old Clemson's got a little bit of a say so in it. So.
Freddie, I was thinking about her earlier this week. What can the ACC do with basketball and ESPN with basketball and timing these games? Our game with Duke should not be a 12 o'clock tip this coming Saturday. It needs to be more prime time than that.
I agree.
I dislike the new. They can do that to us in football. Give us a 2-week notice. Why can't we do some adjusting with that with some of these basketball games?
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna do a flex game on a Friday night with Syracuse, and won't know
Okay.
until they decide. Come on here, and you're not gonna do that with basketball.
First place in the ACC, pretty much on the line. I mean, we
Yeah,
got to take care of business with Tech
yeah,
Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever day
and
that game is.
and I think I misspoke earlier. I think I said it was Tuesday night with Duke, and it's not. It is Saturday night. You were right.
Yeah.
I misspoke there. Apologize. Hey, and not to be outdone now. When was the last time that the ladies had won 17 games in a season, man?
Right.
Coach Poppy, look here. Coach Poppy's got them on a roll, man.
And
Took care of business again today against Boston College. Um,
brother,
hey,
he's recruiting too now. Got a
oh
McDonald's
yeah,
All American coming in. Um, he may be able to make some noise with that group. Making noise this year, make more noise next year and the years after.
Well, you and I both know winning helps out a lot.
Yeah.
And the more you win, the more people want to be around you. We both found out that. I mean, you and I have been fans of the Tigers since we were knee high to grasshoppers.
Yeah.
But we also saw how many all of a sudden in 2015 became lifelong fans of the Tigers, man. So same thing goes with recruiting. You
Yeah.
start winning, and players see it. They want to play for that. And I don't want to take anything away from Dawn Staley and what she's done at South Carolina, because she is. I would say she's probably their best coach overall of
Yep.
any of their athletics. And I don't think anybody would argue with me. But at the same time, I can guarantee you what Poppy's doing right now is going, look, we know what they've got there, and you can see it can be done in South Carolina.
Yeah.
Why don't you come here and help us be the first to take that? You know what I'm saying? And that's what you got to build off of. That's what you got to work with. And he seems to be doing a good job with it. So,
well, it's one thing to sell hope, but he's been able to take some hope and turn it into some wins. So he's got something tangible to go with the hope. He says, here,
he's got the proof. Yeah.
We've got, now we can do more with you coming in or whomever he's recruiting, the McDonald's All American young lady, or any transfers or what have you.
Yeah. And stepping into another part of the ladies part of it, and I apologize because Jeff brought it up after we got off the show the other night, and I did not even think to bring up the fact that the lady softball team was starting out, this week.
Yeah.
You don't think about it a lot. You think about baseball starting up. You don't think about let me change that. I would have thought they would have both started at the same time, and it slipped my mind. Now, got off to a really good start with the first two games. Ended up losing the tournament, I guess they call it, or the Invitational or whatever it
Yeah.
is. Um, Ended up going 2-2 in that series, or that tournament. It's going to be interesting to see what he can do. Um, you know, now that he's gotten into the new is worn off. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, so uh, what do you? I mean, have you looked at very much, or I know we've had some great recruits coming in. Um, but what would you what would you expect out of this season and out of what he's brought in?
I
I know
think
I'm spinning over. So
what um, what they've laid out, the stuff that I've read going into the season, they have an expectation of making it to the Women's College World Series.
I saw
Um,
that.
and I think that is the next step as far as the progression. I mean, he's done about everything leading up to that, winning a regional, winning the ACC tournament, doing those things. What the program's 5-6 years now,
Yep.
hitting on that. So he's done about everything that you can leading up to that. So I think the next step is to move on into that World Series.
And held strong. I mean, competed with was Oklahoma or Oklahoma
Mhm.
State. And we both anybody that keeps up with college softball knows. Like I said, I don't want to say the wrong name. I know it's one of the two, whichever one it is. They have owned college softball for
Yeah.
what last 4 or 5 years or
Oh
something
yeah.
like that. So to be able to say that you competed with a team like that is saying a lot,
Hmm.
in my opinion. But
Well, I think your next step there is doing enough during the regular season to be able to host a regional and host a super.
yeah,
Those are the things.
yeah.
Um, that's where you really cultivate that advantage. If you're not on the
Uh-huh.
road going, you get a little better favor. You get more favorable matchups. Those types of things. So
Yeah,
you got to be consistent enough during the regular season that you can host those events, and then that sets you up to make
yeah,
the trip out there, and then you get hot at the right
yeah.
time. You never know.
That's exactly right. We've seen that. I mean,
Yeah.
not only in any sport, man. That's baseball, football, basketball, soccer. You can't peak too soon, and you got to
Hmm.
hit your stride at the right time.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah. Um, Now you've got the opening of the season on the horizon. Of baseball starts out this weekend against
Yep.
Army. It's going to be interesting to see how good we look. I know how good we look on paper,
Yeah.
but how good we look on the field is all that's going to matter in just a couple of days. And I'm I am thankful to be able to say um, that I am actually probably going to be up there Friday.
You gonna
That will
make
be
it?
my yeah. That will
All
be my
right.
first opening day game. Um, so it, my nephew looked out for me, and I'm thankful to him for that. So we'll be going up there with them and enjoying that. So um, I'm looking forward to it, man. Everybody that I've talked to and everything that I've read, I know you and I talked about it the other week, and
Hmm.
um, it sounds like I don't know whether he's got the pitching staff,
Yeah.
but I can say from everything that I'm understanding, you may not agree with me, but it seems like he is very close to having the pitching staff that he's been wanting. So
Yeah. Well, I saw the stat. I think I want to say there were like eight or 10 guys, or somewhere, some number of guys that were touching 95. Um,
mhm.
I mean, that just shows you that he's gone out and gotten some power arms.
Yep.
Now, how that stuff shakes out, you got to do a little bit more than just shoot 95 down there. You can win some games just shooting 95 there, but can you pitch?
That's right.
That's the next question. You feel good about Kanak on Fridays, but who's going to be your Saturday, Sunday guy? Those things hopefully will shake out, and there'll be two good guys filling in those spots. And then how does the bullpen work?
Mhm.
Who ends up being the closer? Who fills those relief roles, those long relief roles? Because you go use them, got to have them.
Oh yeah. Oh
And then
yeah.
you want to win some midweek games. So who's going to be your 4 or 5 guys? So
That's right.
you got to kind of figure that stuff out.
I'm telling you, I think he's done a great job. I mean, you pointed it out. I mean, anybody that takes Michigan to the College World Champ or
Oh,
the College World Championship,
yeah,
um, you know, uh, they can
play for
coach.
the title.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty good.
So, and I'm in agreement with you. Look, you can throw 95 all day long, but if you throw 95 or 95, 90 plus, and it's right down the middle every time, you ain't gonna last very long, and you ain't gonna
Yeah,
win very
those
many
guys
games.
good enough. They go figure it out. That
That's
they gonna get on it
yeah.
sooner or later.
We
So
saw some pictures last year with that. It felt like once they got through that first rotation,
yeah.
um, you know, uh, people figured them out real quick, and that's one thing I'm hoping that has gotten fixed this year. So, um, look here, it's gonna be interesting to say the
Mm.
least. So, looking forward to it, just like I do every year. I know you do too. Um, and hopefully by June we're both still, talking this stuff and enjoying, that we're still playing. You know,
Oh
so.
yeah, yeah,
All right, and we're gonna try to get out of here by 6:30. Y'all, we don't want to hold y'all up from the Super Bowl. I know everybody out there is looking forward to. I mean, I, I've heard more about the halftime shows this year than I have the Seahawks and the Patriots. I mean, look, I understand the Patriots have been there 100,000 times.
yeah.
Uh, but it's a football game. I mean, come on here. So, but we are going to talk a little bit about our recruiting class. You know, that everything that I've seen so far has been, I don't know, some have said it was good, some have said it wasn't so good. It seems like we filled some spots, Jeff.
Yep.
And that was a good thing that I noticed. Um, and we can go through them. I've got the quarterbacks that are listed are Brock Bradley
Hmm.
um, from Alabama, and then Tate Reynolds out of Arizona. Everybody's looking forward to seeing what Tate Reynolds brings,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna throw this one out there at you to begin with. I don't think you should sleep on Brock Bradley. You know, um,
Mhm.
I mean I don't think he's Tate Reynolds, but at the same time, from what I've understood, he could give you some help there. So, what do you think?
Well, you're looking for you're looking for balance in any of those rooms. I want to say it was Dabo talking. You can't go out and get the. I think the analogy he made was the high-priced NFL free agent every year. It just doesn't work that way in this day and age of college football. You're not going to see an Alabama quarterback room uh, with with those 4 guys that they have with Tua and Jalen Hurts and that. You just can't stack that kind of talent nowadays because they're
Mm-mm.
going to transfer out, they're going to leave. So you
Yep.
better have some guys that are going to be that practice squad type guy or that
Hmm.
lower level guy that would be willing to stay and give you some depth. So
Yep.
is he one of those guys? We don't know. Um,
Exactly.
you really don't know until they get on campus and you develop them. Sometimes you get some surprises there, but I'm like you. I'm looking forward to seeing what Reynolds can do. I know he's coming off of an injury um, in his senior year of high school,
Missed
so
most of the
he's
season.
yeah. I think he did, and did that hurt his ratings or what? Probably so.
Mhm.
I know those guys in those recruiting ratings. Those evaluators. They look at that kind of stuff. So
Keep on, you gonna make it sound like there's politics involved, man. I
man,
mean, come on.
politics and everything.
Hey, if you remember, if most people remember or think back, without one of those type guys, we probably don't play for a national championship with Trevor Lawrence.
Yep.
Syracuse game comes back to. I mean, that was a big one. So yeah, I'm in
Oh
agreement
yeah.
with you on that one. All right, offensive line, you got Carter Scruggs out of Virginia, Leo Delaney out of North Carolina, Chancellor Barclay out of Florida, Adam Guthrie out of Ohio, Braden Wilms out of Kansas, and Grant Wise out of Florida. And it maybe we're wrong. Maybe we looked at this completely the wrong way, but by all calculations, this is probably the best recruiting class, offensive line wise, that Clemson has seen maybe ever. I, I'm not. I don't want to. I don't want to throw that out there. I'm not. I don't know. I do, but I don't. If that makes sense.
I
Um,
I I, I don't think you're going too far off the out in left field to say that it is. I mean, that's a good group. They're
yeah.
highly rated.
Mhm.
I wish we could clone Matt Luke to coach every position group and recruit every position group
I know.
because he
I know. You know.
he's
I
done
mean,
an outstanding job. Yeah, I look forward. The only thing with offensive line with this group, um, I don't know that they're going to be ready to play next year. I doubt
no.
that they are. Typically, not the case with
No.
linemen, and that might have been an area where we needed some immediate help. Just looking at what we put on the field last year, what we lost, um, unless there's some guys that are going to take that next step and step in and be ready to play. Um,
I agree.
and we certainly didn't address it in the portal. Um, it gives us some hope in the future, I would say. But uh,
Yeah.
I hope a lot of the prognosticators are wrong about some of our guys coming in to fill in these offensive line positions, and we can find maybe one of those guys that can step in and give some play some meaningful snaps next year, and some of these younger guys step up ready to go.
Well, and what I'm hoping for is that the injury bug does not bite us again this year like it
Mhm.
has. And
Yeah,
maybe we see a little bit different because that was one thing that we didn't look great on offensive line. That to be the
no,
first. Nobody's going to argue that, but at the same time, we also had some huge injuries
yeah.
in that in that room also. So that's what you got to hope for. All right, we're gonna move on to wide receivers, where you got Naeem Burrows, Gordon Sellers. Well, Naeem Burrows is out of Florida. Gordon Sellers is out of North Carolina.
Mhm.
Connor Salmon out of Virginia, and Cam Bevins out of Tennessee. Another, in my opinion, great room coming in. You know,
Yeah,
the,
Tyler
uh,
Grisham. I mean, there wasn't long he was on the hot seat. A lot of us as fans were ready for him to go packing, but he has certainly turned it around. That group, they've improved on the field, recruiting wise. He's bringing in some top end talent to his room. That's another group that might challenge offensive line group as
yep,
the best. Best
yep.
on the team this year as far as groups are
Well,
concerned.
and I will tell you, I kept telling several of my friends, look, man, Tyler Grisham, he's got, and you could see it with Antonio Williams,
Yeah,
with Wesco and more. Okay,
yeah,
even up until before this class, I had friends of mine telling, he's got to go, man. He's got why? And what I kept trying to get across to him is keep in mind he did not inherit a great wide receiver room. As good a recruiter as Jeff Scott was, his last two recruiting cycles were not good. And
yeah.
I
We
don't know
missed on
what
a
the
few, and that we thought were going to
yeah,
be better.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
Ladson, Nagata. I mean, those
Yeah.
guys, we all thought that they were going to be great, just because of who had recruited them. And they didn't do anything anywhere beside, in other words, they didn't do anything here that
Right.
knocked their socks off. But what told me everything was they didn't go anywhere else and do anything either. All
Yeah.
right. So yeah. Um, Looking forward to seeing what we get out of that room going forward. So,
Mhm.
all right, then we got one tight end, Tavion Wilson out of West Virginia. I have not heard very much about him. I'll be, and I'm not saying it's not out there. I'm just being honest. I haven't paid it much attention
No,
to that spot. I don't know if you have or not, but
not a whole lot, Freddie. That the tight end room's a young group to
mhm,
begin with, so
yep,
it'd be hard to recruit to that room because
yeah.
you've got young talent there that I think would be fine.
All right. And then you got the defensive line and defensive edge, which you got Cam Cody out of Georgia, J.R.
Hmm.
Hardrick out of Tennessee, Andy Burija. I don't want to say his name wrong. I'm sure I am. He's a JUCO out of Illinois, and Michael Foster out of South Carolina. Um, I've heard bits and pieces about, especially the one I was misspelling or missaying.
Uh-huh.
I've heard some things about him. Going to be interesting to see what he can do, especially coming in from a JUCO. Um, I know he's a freshman, or he's considered a freshman. He's considered a enrollee signee or whatever. Um, but that, in my opinion, should help us out. He should.
Yeah.
So, um, all right. Then your linebackers and your safety. You got Braden Riley out of Ohio and Polo Anderson out of South Carolina. So um,
That's the kid from the upstate, isn't it?
it is. It is. Yep. So um, again, that room, I think was going to be kind of hard to recruit for this year because you're bringing in. I think we spent more time bringing in somebody from the portal there than we did, and that might be one of the downfalls of the portal.
Yeah.
Is you got kids that aren't going to want to come because they see us doing that. So, or they see you doing that, and that can it's a double edged sword. We've
Yeah.
talked about it before. So, um, all right, then you got your cornerbacks, which are Shavar Young Jr. and Marcel Gibson.
Yeah.
So, again, not a lot in those two rooms if you think about it. Um, you
But
know,
on the flip side, Freddie, I mean, we went to the portal heavy on that side of the ball. So,
yeah,
like you said earlier, I mean,
yeah,
it's a balancing act.
that's right, that's right. And the only specialist we brought in was long snapper Jackson Reach. So, and I'm gonna be honest with you, as long as he can snap the ball, I'm hoping we don't say his name very much.
Yeah.
You know,
If you call him the long snapper's name, something bad has happened, my friend. Something bad has happened.
yeah, you gotta hope that you don't know that name.
Yeah.
Past where we're talking about right now. So,
Hmm.
um, it's going to be interesting to see because, like we were talking about, it is a balancing act. It's going to be interesting to see you know how this team molds together, how it you know you know with bringing in people from the outside as well as trying to balance that your recruits that you brought in from high school and stuff like that. Um, I'm looking forward to it, just like I would, just like I would have been if we'd have brought in you know, a 33 member class and no portal players, and so um, I'm looking forward to spring practice. I
Oh
really
yeah.
am. It's going to be interesting to see a lot of questions to be answered, and just I hate to say it, but the quarterback is probably not going to be answered in the spring practice, but it is going to be interesting to see how well each of them does.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you're looking, I think, at that point for some growth and some development.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't see the growth and development, then red flags start to come up. I mean
Yeah,
that's just natural.
yeah.
Yeah, it is. I, Signing day and the way college football is now. I mean, it's just so much different than it was 5 years ago. Gosh, 10 years ago, 15 years ago,
I,
it's just
I'm telling you,
unreal.
it
Um,
is.
it's just terribly different. I remember signing day years ago used to be like Christmas, but now,
Mhm.
I mean, I didn't even know it came and went.
Yeah, I mean, it was this past week, and nobody even realized that it had come and gone.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, but,
But I mean, years ago, I'm checking the computer during the
yeah,
day.
yeah,
Did they sign? Did they flip? Did we get
yeah.
him? Did we? I, it's
I
just
can
just
still
not there now.
remember CJ Spiller, man. That because I'm sitting
Oh
here
yeah,
by the computer going, "What did he do?" And think about it, saying, we couldn't watch it live then. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
so
I
yeah,
remember the class with Tony Stewart and Stephon Anthony.
yeah,
There was I remember that one so vividly because there was something going on, and I was not at school that day. I had to take off that day. Just happened to be on National Signing Day, and I got to sit and watch all that stuff go down that day. That was wonderful. I was in front of the TV all day that day. Um, but that won't happen
well,
again,
and
my
it,
friend.
well, see, and that's funny because you said that about just happening to be off that day, and that's what's happening for me Friday because I'm off Friday. I got to work Saturday, so
Oh yeah.
with some stuff that's going on with a special we do. So just so happen I'm going to a ball game. Hey,
Hey,
well, look. It's been nice. It's been another fun one. Y'all know we could sit here and we could talk for hours,
oh yeah.
about all this stuff. But the Super Bowl has begun, according to my watch,
Oh, it's
and
kidding.
so we don't want to hold y'all up from getting to
No,
that. We hope that y'all have tuned in. We hope that y'all have enjoyed it, even if you didn't get to watch the last part of it because you wanted to watch the Seattle Seahawks and the Patriots. Um, you know, whether you're watching Kid Rock or you're watching Lee Bryce or you're watching um, Bad Bunny at halftime, y'all have a great night. As always, man, pull for your Tigers.
go
Let's
Tigers.
let's see what we can do going forward.
Hey,
Okay,
bring us the sweep home this weekend, Freddie.
I'm gonna do my best to get us off to a good start. Let's put it
There
that
you go.
way. All right. Good to talk to you, Jeff, and
Yep,
we
man.
will talk to y'all later. As always, y'all go Tigers.
Go Tigers.